What's going on, everyone? I'm meteorologist Tyler Sherrod here with your Wednesday edition of FSU weather. Seeing the sunset over Doak Campbell Stadium right now with those cloudy skies starting to build into the region. Currently at 68 degrees and have a little bit of wind with winds coming out of the south at 9 miles per hour. Rest of the Big Bend region looking very similar to Tallahassee. Got temperatures anywhere from 60 degrees in Thomasville all the way up to 69 degrees in Madison. And the Tallahassee radar not showing anything at all in the way of rain. Clear skies except for the clouds at least. And for tonight's headlines, we're going to have a late week cool down for Tallahassee when a cold front moves through. Going to have a severe weather risk for the Great Plains tonight, and then we're going to talk about a lunar eclipse as well.
Good evening, Florida State. I'm student meteorologist Riley Winch.
And I'm student meteorologist Chandler Pruitt, and we are glad to bring you and welcome you in on this Wednesday edition of FSU Weather.
It was a very nice day here across the Tallahassee area. Not too hot, not too cold. If you ask me, that's the perfect kind of weather. Not too cold tonight either. And we're going to see a change, though.
Exactly, yeah. The big story that we're going to be talking about tonight is the cool down, the flip in the pattern, as you can say. It's been nice and cool out in the west, but we're going to take some of that here in the east.
Yeah, so exactly what you need to wear to game day against Miami this Saturday is something you can find out tonight. Will we see the warm weather hold off until after the game, or will you have to bundle up?
Exactly. And taking a look at other parts of the country, we'll also be talking about the severe weather risk later on this evening in parts of the Great Plains in Texas and Oklahoma. So if you have any family out there, definitely stay tuned. We'll break down what they can expect out there and what you can do to warn them of the incoming storms.
And not only do we have the severe weather, we actually have a little bit of a snow threat for our friends up north in areas like Minnesota and the extreme northern central plains. And if that works out this weekend, it could be some people's first snow of the season.
Quite active weather, but now we'll throw things over to the wall with Evan to take a look here locally.
That's right. Thanks for that opening, guys. So currently over at Doak Campbell Stadium, it's a little cloudier than it was earlier this evening. Those clouds have really worked their way into the region. Currently sitting at 68 with a southerly wind at 9 miles an hour, so that wind has shifted directions over the past few hours here. Nothing on the radar right now, maybe a couple blips of ground clutter just north there of Valdosta, but no rain for the foreseeable future, which is always a good thing around here. Temperature almanac for today, we were slightly above average with our high temperature today, around 78 degrees, warmer than our average of 74, but we were right at our average for our low temperatures of 48. Thankfully, we were nowhere near that frigid 28-degree low, record low set back in 1961. Currently around the area, generally sitting in the 60s. 69 is our hot spot in Tallahassee. That urban heat island effect that we have here is really coming into play here. Colder as we head up north towards Thomasville, it's 60 degrees, and it's 65 down the shore at Apalachicola. Dew points currently generally sitting in the 60s and 50s. A little bit drier here in Tallahassee at 54. Also a little bit moist down the shore at 61 at Apalachicola. That marine influence coming into play there for that area as well. As for the future, just some clouds, maybe some spot showers tonight, and those shower chances do exist as well for tomorrow. So make sure you have your rain jackets and umbrellas handy for tomorrow. You may need those as you go throughout the day as that cold front moves its way in from the west that's bringing that severe weather to the central plain states right now. But as it slides towards the east, that shower threat does exist for tomorrow. So make sure that you are ready for that. As for tonight, that shower, as I said, that shower chance does exist for much of our region, generally sitting in the upper 50s for lows. So pretty comfortable temperature-wise, but maybe not rain-wise out there. As for tomorrow, we do have that shower threat existing for Tallahassee, 78 degrees in the metro area, generally sitting in the mid to upper 70s throughout much of the region tomorrow. So again, nice temperature-wise, still a little bit above average, but we do have that shower threat existing. As I said, tonight for Tallahassee, 57. Showers later on in the night, winds are going to be calm. And as for tomorrow, we do have those showers that will be around the area, high 78 degrees. As for the week ahead, we do have, like I said, that shower threat existing when that cold front moves through. But as we go throughout the rest of the weekend, those temperatures will take a tumble, potentially reaching into the upper 30s by the time we get to early next week.
Yeah, looking at those temperatures, I don't really like to see how cold things are going to get. But one thing we could hold on to in the state of Florida right now is the fairly dry weather we are experiencing, at least in northern portions of the state. You head along the I-4 corridor on your way between Orlando and Tampa. Could be picking up on a couple storms, even all the way down I-95 towards Miami. Some showers this evening that could, put a little bit of a damper on your outdoor activities, but it's not anything in terms of heavy rainfall. Across the Panhandle, we are dry. It's a good day to get out, walk around, do some things, maybe go to a basketball game here in Tallahassee, opening night for the season for the FSU basketball team. Or if you want to go to the beach, it's, not too cold, 60, 70 degrees tonight, right now in Panama City Beach. Nice pink haze across the skyline this evening if you are enjoying the beauties of Panama City Beach right now. Something we are looking at, though, is some of this rain over there towards just south of Daytona Beach. I guess our radar is not going to show us that, but Gainesville is somewhere where we are dry right now, 70 degrees. Do have some clouds. That'll help retain some of that daytime heating we saw earlier today, so it won't get too cold tonight. But into South Florida, we do have some spotty showers and storms moving their way into Miami across I-75 this evening. So that is going to bring a shower here or there. But again, in Miami, we are currently cloudy, not seeing anything steady. It's going to be hit or miss showers this evening. So don't be too surprised if you have to put the windshield wipers on here or there tonight. Now, across the state of Florida, we are on the warmer side, especially compared to most of the rest of the country at this point. 60s, upper 60s is pretty much your best bet in the panhandle of Florida. You start to head into the peninsula, you get into those lower 70s before reaching the mid 70s, even 79 degrees there in West Palm Beach this evening. So if you want to go out in the pool or go out in the ocean, that is doable. I mean, it's nighttime though, so I don't know if you really want to be swimming without the lifeguards. Current dew points across the region, we are sitting fairly comfortable. A little bit muggy down in Miami, but when is it not really? Up here in North Florida, those 50-degree dew points are pretty much the most comfortable you can get. A little drier than that, and you'll have to start putting on the chapstick. But this evening, we are going to see temperatures not change much from what they are already due to that increased cloud cover across the state, really. And we stay in the 70s as we head down into Miami. Some storms are possible. And for the day tomorrow, we do get to see those 80s return for much of the state. But most of the state, I would say, Evan, we are going to be in the upper 70s.
That's right. Those nice and comfy warm temperatures will be around for the next day or so. But once we get past that cold front that will be moving in from the west, temperatures will certainly take a tumble. For really the first time we've reached that cold all season here. So currently, we showed this shot earlier, 70 degrees there in Gainesville, a little cloudy there. Same thing in Blacksburg, Virginia, much colder at 54. Pretty shot at Atlanta, nice and clear at 65. And we also have Bowling Green, Kentucky, partly cloudy there. Nice picture there of the fading sunset, 62 there right now. And as for much of the southeast, it's really been a nice stretch of weather we've had recently. Currently right now, 67 in Jackson, Missouri, 72 there in Shreveport, Louisiana, 62 in Charleston, South Carolina. So it's been really comfortable, nice and warm the past few days, unseasonably warm in some cases. But as that cold front does move through, things will be changing around here, that's for sure. Dew points sitting, again, very comfortably. As Riley pointed out, much of the peninsula of Florida is sitting a little bit muggy right now. That's just the natural state of Florida, because when are we not muggy around here, seriously? But much of the area is sitting with those comfortable dew points. 43 is our dry spot up in Nashville, Tennessee at the hour. Looking at the radar, not really much on the radar. We see those showers that Riley pointed out earlier coming into the Melbourne area and also the Miami area. We do see behind me this cold front moving in from the west, currently affecting areas like Wichita, Kansas, down into Oklahoma with those severe thunderstorm watches going into tonight. So that'll start to move its way into the Tallahassee area by the time we get to this time tomorrow. there are those showers once again moving their way into central Florida and also southern Florida. So make sure you have your rain jacket there for those hit and miss sprinkles. And there's that cold front moving. You can see it really defined a swath of rain, generally bringing in a swath of ½ inch to maybe 1.5 inches of rain, locally heavier in spots, so make sure that you turn around and don't drown if you encounter any of that flash flooding. But as that cold front moves its way this way towards Tallahassee, you can expect to see those hit and miss showers coming into our area as well. As for tonight, again, very nice and comfortable seasonal out there, generally sitting in the low to mid 50s. Warmer as we get into Florida, 65 there in Orlando with those spot showers that we were showing you earlier, 67, and also in Miami, 74 for the low. So that's quite warm, even for Miami standards. And as for Thursday, generally sitting in the 70s, maybe a little bit cooler as we get towards the back of that cold front, 66 there in Little Rock, and 69 there in Jackson with those thunderstorms becoming a threat as that cold front does move through. So things will be changing around here as that cold front does move through.
Right, Evan, and across the tropics, it's been fairly quiet over the past few weeks with the exception of Wanda, but now we have Invest 96L, which was recently designated by the National Hurricane Center. And you can see right here, this is 96L. You can see it will eventually move off to the northern Atlantic. So it'll be a fish storm, although maybe perhaps later in the week we might see possibly some impacts for our folks in perhaps in the UK, but at least nothing here in terms of any tropical weather. This is 96L. You can see it's fairly organized, especially on the western side. You can see there is some shearing apart, but you do see a little bit of a swirl here. So it's possible it could form into maybe a subtropical storm or a tropical system in the coming days. You see there's a 50% chance in the next few days. Development is possible, but again, this will race off to the north and east. Here's water vapor. You can see the little pouch of moisture right here with some convection and some thunderstorms off to the western side of the low pressure area. You can see that we do have some dry air coming up on the eastern side. And along the Gulf of Mexico, you can see very quiet. We do have some convection around Central America, and then we do have that cold front coming in up in the northern Gulf of Mexico. But really quiet, nothing tropical in nature. And of course, we go off over to the eastern part of the Atlantic Ocean. You can see there is some convection over towards Africa, but nothing, at least nothing being noted by now by the National Hurricane Center. And so we'll toss that back over to the desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Now here at the desk, we're going to talk about a lunar eclipse that's actually going to occur soon, right, Evan?
That's right. It'll be happening later next week. And it'll be visible in many places around our area. So what exactly is a lunar eclipse? Well, it occurs when the sun's light is blocked by a shadow from the Earth. And there are different types of eclipses.
Yep, there's total lunar eclipses, partial and penumbral as well, based on the coverage of the eclipse. And they can also sometimes cause a red coloring of the moon due to Rayleigh scattering.
That's right. And so, like I said, this will be visible next week as we work our way towards the end of next week.
Yes, I believe November 19th is whenever the lunar eclipse is supposed to occur. Yep, November 19th, and it will peak at 4:02 a.m. Going to be visible in most of North America, South America, Oceania, and parts of Europe. So that means we're actually even going to be able to see it here in Tallahassee.
That's right. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay up quite that late or wake up quite that early next Friday. But if you are willing and are determined to see that lunar eclipse, because it is something that's pretty rare, but you can definitely see it if you are willing to stay up to that hour of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. I think maybe I'll take the risk and stay up that late and see if I can see it, because I don't know exactly how often these lunar eclipses happen, but it's definitely going to be a sight to behold. So I'm going to try my best to stay up and see that lunar eclipse.
That's right. I might do the same thing myself. It's the same thing like a solar eclipse. They're very rare, and they're also very special to see. So definitely a treat. They'll be crossing our skies.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's enough talking about the lunar eclipse for us. Now we're going to send things off to the wall with Chandler to talk about a certain city in Oklahoma.
That is right. Thank you guys for that awesome and fresh information on what we can expect later this week in astronomy. But now we'll take things back to severe weather. Ardmore, Oklahoma, you guys are the center of attention for this segment because you guys are in the center of a slight risk for severe weather. Now, currently you can see those temperatures were really ranging from the 60s to 70s, 70 in Durant, 67 in Ardmore, but for the most part it's quite comfortable, a little bit unseasonably warm for you guys during this time of year. Dew points, though, that's where it actually stands out. You have a lot more moisture in the atmosphere, and that can provide more instability and cause more of these convective systems and more of these supercells to erupt. So, of course, that is why the SBC is taking a look at this severe weather for tonight. With the satellite and radar, you can currently see some of these showers that are making their way. This is just a taste of what you guys can expect here in the next couple of hours. But currently, really, storms are starting to form off into the west, or off and making their way to the east, past I-35. But so you guys in Ardmore, you guys are just now getting done with those showers, but there is more to come with some more showers on the back end that will form into potentially some isolated supercells. For our storm outlook for today, of course, I just mentioned we have a slight risk ranging from North Texas and Bowie all the way up into Sulphur and Oklahoma. So you guys all need to have your weather radios and really be paying attention to the weather as we look into the next couple of hours, especially close to 7 and 8 o'clock, whenever the dew points really are still really high and we have those supercells feeding off the moisture in the atmosphere. So that instability, again, will potentially produce some hail and tornadoes. Looking at our tornado outlook, we do have about a 10% probability, or 5%, excuse me, of potential supercell or tornado-producing supercells. And then for the hail outlook, again, we have some more potential for hail. This is obviously more of a hail event than a tornado event, but it's still something to keep an eye on as we look throughout the next few hours. So again, make sure you're taking the proper preparations. For the futurecast, we really see that it's really quick and incoming. So of course, it will make its way through pretty quickly at 8 p.m., making its way into Ardmore and Gainesville before making its way out by this evening, by about midnight. So again, your Thursday will be nice and clear, but just stay prepared and weather aware over the next couple of hours. For tonight, you can expect, again, those thunderstorms with 45 degrees as your temperature. So again, quite awesome conditions after the thunderstorms, because the thunderstorms will only be around for till about 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. For the 3-day forecast, you expect things to clear up and be more enjoyable in the 60s for the most part after that cold front.
And bringing things back closer to home, we had a very nice day today across the Big Bend. You can see currently it is 68 degrees under cloudy skies. We did have that nice, beautiful sunset behind Doak Campbell Stadium, but now we are descending into the nighttime. We do have a nice wind out of the south at 9 miles per hour, so certainly nice breezy conditions out there. Our temperature almanac, you can see we did hit a high of 78 degrees today in Tallahassee, but we did come up from a low of 49 this morning, which is so far, I mean, it's pretty seasonable for this time of year. Maybe a touch warmer than average for the high temperature, but certainly nothing significant in terms of any unseasonable temperatures. And across Tallahassee, you can see very, very quiet across the radar. We have a few showers down towards the I-75 corridor, so if you're coming up from Tampa or Ocala, you might have to run into some showers on the way up on your journey up I-75. But across the I-10 corridor, very quiet across the area, across the Big Bend and the Panhandle of Florida. Very, very, at least nothing significant on radar. So, and as we zoom out for the rest of the state, you can see those showers I was mentioning over towards Central Florida, over towards Orlando and into the Tampa area. We do have a few showers also down towards South Florida. Down if you're in Miami, might need an umbrella and handy just in case. In our future radar across the Big Bend, you can see we do have a few hit or miss showers as we go into tomorrow, but we do have some filtered cloudiness as well, as we do have an approaching cold front coming in from the western side of our viewing area. But you can see most of us should stay dry, and certainly most of us probably won't even see rain in the rain bucket. And our current local temperatures across the area, you can see we were in the comfortable 60s across much of the area. You can see 69 is the hot spot in Tallahassee, but we do see some lower 60s as we go into southwest Georgia. So Thomasville is an example, 60 degrees up there. In tonight's forecast, you can see we are pretty much going to be warming up, at least compared to this morning where we were at. We're going to see upper 50s for Tallahassee, even some 60s as further south and east you go, and along the coast as well. So Carabel, 64, and Apalachicola as well, sitting at 64 tonight. Tonight in Talla, you can see we will be in the upper 50s with some showers late, with a nice calm wind. Of course, this will be all ahead of the cold front coming in tomorrow, but really it should be very comfortable out there. But again, watch out for those hit or miss showers that are possible as well. And in tomorrow's forecast, you can see we will be in the 70s across much of the area. So at least with the potential for some showers around the area. In the week ahead, you can see we do have a comfortable week ahead as we do after behind the cold front. We will go down into the 60s in the area.
Thanks, Aaron. Looking like a beautiful post-cold front weather in Tallahassee with those sunny skies coming through as we get into next week. But let's zoom out now and look at the rest of the country. Tallahassee right now 68 degrees with those cloudy skies in the region. And as we move further west, things are actually starting to cool down as we get into Albuquerque, 62 degrees. Salt Lake City is 50. Pretty typical temperature gradient for the U.S. right now. The south is on the warmer side, and as you move up towards the north, things start to get cooler. Although the cool weather is fairly mild for this time of year, getting into the northern regions. Bismarck, only 49 degrees for that temperature right now. Dew points, as you go further to the west, you're going to see that drier air built up in the western part of the U.S. Salt Lake City, dew point of 32 degrees, and you can see this sharp dew point gradient as we move towards the east. Southeast has a lot more moisture in the region right now. And our national radar going to show what systems are out there right now in the U.S. This is the cold front we're going to be worried about later on in the week for Tallahassee as it approaches our city. Going to cool things down as we go into the weekend. But also associated with this system is some severe weather that I'll get into a little bit later. But going to see that move towards Tallahassee and push out that high pressure to start bringing in some more rain and even cloudier skies. Whenever you take a look at this upper level water vapor map, going to help you see where the severe weather is at. Those brighter colors getting into the orange is the higher cloud tops, and whenever you have higher cloud tops, that means that your thunderstorms are a little bit stronger than the other colors. And the brown air showing some of that dry air slotted over there in the northeast. So let's go region by region now. In the northwest, seeing a lot of cloudy skies in Washington and Oregon, and seeing some light showers moving through just south of Seattle and along the coastline for western Washington. As we move further to the east in the northern plains, that's where we're seeing a lot of that severe weather right now. Omaha right now getting hit pretty hard with some thunderstorms, but the strongest line of storms seems to be east of Omaha, getting into southern Iowa and into central Iowa as well. You can see that pink right there in the background indicating a severe thunderstorm watch for northern Missouri and parts of Nebraska and Iowa. Moving on to the northeast, things are pretty clear for the most part. Boston has clear skies. New York seeing just a couple of pop-up showers there, and actually seeing most of that rain there in Halifax. That's in Nova Scotia province in Canada. So in the southeast, Florida, pretty clear in the northern parts besides some cloud coverage, but seeing some rainfall in eastern Florida, right around that Melbourne area, getting into Orlando and Ocala, and then seeing some rain falling as well along the coastline near Miami. And finally, let's take a look at Texas, seeing some of that severe weather that Chandler was talking about there in northern Texas, line of storms moving through Dallas and parts of central and northern Oklahoma as well. So our watches and warnings, I'm going to sum things up. The pink here is a severe thunderstorm watch, and seeing a severe thunderstorm warning there in the orange. And as we get further to the north, in North Dakota and Minnesota, seeing some winter weather advisories there. Our storm outlook showing that there's a slight risk of seeing severe thunderstorms in Oklahoma and northern Texas. That's about a 40% chance of seeing a severe thunderstorm there. So tonight, things are going to cool down a lot. Denver, one of our favorite viewers from Denver, 28 degrees, going to be that low tonight. And then moving into Tallahassee, Atlanta, 48 degrees. Might see some rain there. Memphis, 41 degrees. Tallahassee, 59 degrees for that low. Things going to warm up for the southeast tomorrow. Tallahassee with a high of 78. Atlanta, a high of 71. And as you move into the north, Minneapolis, 43 degrees for that high. And Billings, 41 degrees. Now going to pass things off to
Thank you, man. Getting that arm workout in, pointing out all the potential weather that we're seeing across the national view, but taking things close to local. Well, we can see the area cameras, specifically Sportsplex, Panama City, Lake Bradford. All of you guys really sitting nice, comfortable, beautiful night, nice, stable conditions with some clouds. Of course, the sun is setting here locally, and then Panama City, you guys have that beautiful sunset occurring right now. Again, a nice view of Doak Campbell Stadium. Of course, now that the sun's set, it's nice and dark, but again, you can really see the nice outline of the stadium that hopefully will be full on Saturday as we face Miami for the last home game of the season. For airport delays here locally in Tallahassee, well, we're sitting at nice, beautiful conditions for the airport, of course, correlating with those beautiful conditions weather-wise. So, of course, delays unlikely, 68 degrees. So, again, as we get closer to holiday traveling, I know that some people are trying to travel for Veterans Day, trying to take a nice long weekend. So, you guys are nice and clear to be flying out. Looking at a big national view, again, nice and clear for the most part in all the bigger airports in Atlanta, Dallas, etc. Looking at that dog walk forecast, we can see that really 7 a.m. is a good time to start getting out there if you are more of a fan of the cooler temperatures. But if you're like Riley and you like to go out when it's a little warmer, 9 a.m. is a better compromise. But by about 11 a.m. you can start to see those spotty showers start to really kick in, and we can start to see a little bit more unstable atmosphere as that cold front that's in Oklahoma currently makes its way over into Florida. But for tonight, you can expect to stargaze if you really want to, with nice, beautiful view. Viewing conditions are good. We'll expect the sunrise to happen about 6:59 a.m. tomorrow, and that we have a waxing crescent in play right now. For the football game on Saturday, we can expect nice and beautiful conditions, 69 degrees. So, of course, if you are from South Florida, maybe you do bring a jacket. But it's beautiful conditions overall. Definitely a big contrast from NC State game where we saw much more rainier, cloudier, and cooler conditions. But on the backside of the cold front, we can also expect those nightly lows to be a bit cooler. So, but again, nice and beautiful conditions for the game. But how about we toss things over to the desk for you guys to close it out, Riley?
Yeah, well, Aaron, the cooler it is, the better for FSU's chances, I would say, just considering how warm it is down in Miami. But overall, it's going to be a very nice weekend until we hit those low temperatures.
Certainly, and of course, until then, we do have a little bit of a warm-up and also the chance of some hit-or-miss showers as we get into tomorrow and into Friday. So until the game, I mean, you might need an umbrella.
Yeah, we'll see about this Thursday time frame, which is tomorrow now. We might see some rain associated with this upcoming cold front that will be moving through the area. And it will cool us down again, just like we had last weekend, where we had the cooler temperatures just in time, unfortunately, for when many people have the opportunity to get outside.
Right, and maybe not as cold as last weekend, but certainly a cool down, at least compared to relatively to today, when we hit we're in the upper 70s. So certainly, at least if you are from North Florida, it certainly will feel a bit nicer.
Yeah, this rebound has been really nice. I've enjoyed going outside without freezing and it being raining. Just finally getting a little bit of a taste of what those summer temperatures were like before 4 months of gloom, if you ask me.
Right, and I mean, yeah, so I mean, it is definitely a bit more muggy out there, but again, certainly it will continue until we have that cold front coming in. But I mean, really, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's a pretty nice day, I mean, in the 70s, so, but.
Absolutely. The 75 degrees and sun is almost as good as you can get. And make sure you follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather. And
like us on Facebook at Facebook or facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And if you're not already, watch us on YouTube, youtube.com/FSU Weather every weeknight at 6.
And follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather.
Thank you guys for that. Closing desk. Just want to point out we will be seeing that rain tomorrow, but the cold front will catch up. Our temperatures will catch up with that cold front as the cooler weather starts to settle in over the weekend. And we see beautiful conditions start to settle in from Sunday into Wednesday. Looking at those sunny skies, beautiful weather for the Tallahassee and Big Bend region.